Welcome the audience to the TLK Legal Consultancy Investment Program. I'm Chang Yong.
And I'm Yuna. We are legal experts from TLK Law Firm. Today, we are honored to continue participating in this program to share legal information with you all on the topic procedure on the capital increase for foreign investment in Vietnam.
As we know, Vietnam has been regarded as an ideal location for foreign investors thanks to incentive on natural resources, stunning scenery, and incentive policy. Currently, our state also issues more policy to encourage foreign investors to increase charter capital to invest in Vietnam. So, is the procedure to apply for an increase in investment capital for foreign investment projects in Vietnam is complicated and time-consuming?
Well, it depends on many circumstances. It can be said that the procedure is relatively complicated because of foreign elements. It will be subject to many restrictions by national laws and international treaties on trade and investment. And also regarding time, for example, in case your project is subject to the approval of investment policy adjustment, it will take longer than the project that do not require the approval. Ms. New, now let's provide additional information to the audience about the basic steps to apply for an increase in investment capital for foreign investment in Vietnam.
Yes, first and foremost, we need to determine whether a project is in the case having to apply for approval to adjust the investment policy or not. Pursuant to Investment Law 2020, the investor that had investment project which is approved policy will have to follow the procedure to apply for approval to adjust the investment policy if the total investment capital is increased or reduced by 20% or more, thereby changing the scale of the investment. In case of having to apply for approval to adjust the investment policy, the investor will have to follow the following steps. Step 1. Investor will have to prepare a dossier to apply for approval to adjust the investment policy. Step 2. After having a dossier, the investor will submit the dossier to the state agency. Step 3. If the application is valid, the state agency will issue a decision to approve the adjustment of the policy approval. In case it is necessary to amend or supplement, the state agency will issue a notice. Within 5 working days from the day of receipt of the decision, the state agency will amend the registration certificates of investment. The last step, if the investor increases the charter capital of the organization managing and implementing the project, they will have to carry out the procedure to adjust the business certificate.
And in case of not having to apply for approval of investment policy adjustment, the investor will also take 4 steps. Step 1. Prepare a dossier of application. Step 2. Apply to the competent investment registration agency. Step 3. Receive the investment registration certificate if the dossier of application is valid. And if it is necessary to amend and supplement, the authority will issue a notice. The last step, step 4, in case the investor increase in charter capital of the management and implementation organization, they need to carry out the procedure to change the business registration content. In this part, can you tell more about the component of application in this procedure?
Yes, of course. In the case of having to apply for approval to adjust the investment policy, investor will always have to work with the competent agencies, which are the Congress, the Prime Minister, and the Provincial People's Committee. Basically, you can refer to Decree No. 31/2021 ADCP regarding the Investment Law 2020. In the case that you do not have to apply for approval to adjust the investment policy, the application includes 1 is a written request for adjustment of the investment project. 2 is a report of the implementation of the investment up to the time of adjustment. 3 is the decision of investor for adjustment of the investment project. 4 is explanation or document related to the adjustment. The last one is other related documents as requirements of state agency, if any. Now, Let's discuss the method of submitting the application.
Yes, to carry out the procedure, the investor needs to submit an online application through National Investment Information System. After the application is received, the investor submits application directly or by post office to the investment registration agency.
Thank you. And in addition, we will share about form of capital increase. There are 4 forms of capital increase. The first is investor contributes their capital. Second is borrowing money from others, organizations or individuals. The third is converting debt into contributed capital if creditors agree. After that, creditors will become investor, and the last form is using net profit to reinvest. Besides, the investor contribution must be made through an investment account, or they can open a loan account at a commercial bank.
So, for these loans, what should investor pay attention to, Ms. Yu?
Yes. Firstly, in the terms of time, there are 3 types of loans: short-term loans, medium-term loans, and long-term loans. And in the terms of currency, they can borrow in many foreign currencies. Therefore, they will have to open an investment account in a commercial bank. And the third is regarding to the loan reporting obligation. An annual report must be made to the State Bank of Vietnam.
Thanks for sharing, Ms. Yu. Now, the editorial board has selected a typical question related to the topic. I would like to read the question. Dear TOK Law Firm, is the Investment Registration Authority and the Investment Planning Department the same authority?
Well, under Investment Law 2020, an Investment Registration Authority is a regulatory agency that issues, adjusts, and revokes the investment registration certificate. Department of Planning and Investment is one of the Investment Registration Authority.
Thank you, Ms. Yu.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, the TLK Law Firm Legal Consultation about Investment Program has come to an end. We sincerely hope that you, the audience, will find our response and information presented today to be helpful. Please contact us by phone at 097-211-8764 or by email info@tlklawfirm.vn or comment directly under this video. If you need in-depth advice about this procedure or any other areas such as corporation, litigation, civil, trade promotion, or tax accounting, we will respond to you as soon as we can.
Moreover, TOK Law Firm is looking forward to receiving your companionship, your sharing. So don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe to TOK Law Firm YouTube channel. We will back to the next issue with more attractive topics.
Goodbye and see you again.